PETA, podcast every day in April, where during the month of April you'll hear about different topics and different stories and discussions that I have on my mind and on my heart to discuss and address for this month. It may be sports related, it may be stuff related. You may even hear some guests on the show that you may haven't even seen or heard from me addressing on the show. But this is PETA, and this is Podcast Every Day in April. Hope you enjoy. $158 of the past is here. I'm your host, BT. What's going on, everybody? Hope you all are having an amazing Monday. Almost made it Tuesday. Don't know why or how. Do want to go ahead and get the morning or the daily tangibles out of the way. The podcasts are loaded, uploaded, and hosted thanks to Spreaker.com. If you're looking to get into podcasting, I would definitely recommend them as a source of starting out and kind of getting the ball rolling. And also, if you are looking to get a reliable microphone or good equipment, the Blue Yeti microphone is the go-to. And I've been forgetting to do this because I always have it shared in the show notes, but I never share with you all specifically. For the intro and the outro, if you've been listening since the beginning of the year, I've added some music, and that is from one of my musical connections, Grimecraft. Shout out to him. You can check out his link in the show notes as well. Before I continue with today's topic, as I may have mentioned, if I haven't stated it, I'll go ahead and get into that. I have a podcast connect who gave me a shout out, so I'm all about reciprocating and returning the love. So Lorenza, if you're listening, much appreciated on the shout out. Definitely, want to get you out there and get the exposure. He has his podcast. He is uploading on Spreaker as well. The name of his podcast is One Way. He's joining me in the challenge of doing podcasts every day in April. I almost called it August, and I think I may have done that. I'm hoping I didn't do that at the beginning, but if not, we're going to just keep it pushing. But he's doing a podcast every day in April to kind of get his exposure as well as I am. And I appreciate the feedback and the input regarding the topic yesterday related to Easter Day and April Fool's Day and kind of the backstory about those. So today we're doing another day. The month of April, whether people know this or not, or may not be aware, is actually autism, like I'm from New York, autism Awareness Month. And there's a specific date that's aligned with being Autism Awareness Day, and that is today. So, as I always do, I like to give you an article. This one isn't as long, so that's helpful. World Autism Awareness Day aims to put a spotlight on the hurdles that people with autism and others living with autism face every day. As a growing global health issue, owing to its increasing exposure in the press and common knowledge, autism is an issue that is only gaining more understanding. And World Autism Awareness Day, or WAD, activities are planned every year to further increase and develop world knowledge of children and adults who have autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. What's more, World Autism Awareness Day goes one step further to celebrate the unique talents of those with autism, while putting a huge focus on the warm embrace and welcome that these skills deserve through community events around the globe. So mainly just sharing that story is kind of like a to Z generic overview of Autism Awareness Day, but it's the whole month is made to be known or acknowledging or how it's mainly viewed of autism. I normally, and I'm likely going to do that starting today, because normally I wear a purple band for domestic violence, and I wear it year round. For the month of April, I decided to change things up a little bit, and I do have it's a bit of a multicolored bracelet that has the puzzle pieces that most people will see related to autism, and just heightening the awareness of the season and the occurrence. So mainly there's not anyone personally who I know with autism. I do know that in my knowledge and just in general discussion, we're at an era or in a stage now where you can have autism and it's not being viewed as a conflict or an issue. I know at one time, and I'm saying it that way because a lot of times when we look at or know someone who has autism, there's the uncertainty and the question of, well, how do we help this person, or what can we do that would be, to acclimate or to accommodate them. And now we're in a era, like I know for me, with being into gaming, it's not as much of a challenge when someone who does have autism is playing, because you can kind of just they have games that are accommodated to those with autism who are autistic. So that's kind of my main overview that I have. Anyone who has the experience or has suffered or knows anyone who is going through autism, I'm kind of putting this out there. This is more so like the exposure and, hey, Brian, you need to get on your stuff and like know what's going on. Send an email to passpodcastbt@gmail.com so I can kind of get some stories and some insights so I'll understand a better overview of autism and what it entails, or experiences that you may have had with autism, or if you personally have autism yourself. Now I know it can be, maybe difficult, but I just wanted to kind of get some exposure regarding that. And I will likely read it on air, because I do want to get those who are out there, give them the proper exposure and understanding of autism as a whole. So that's what I have for you all today. Not really a lengthy podcast, and it's not intentionally meant to be this brief, but this is mainly kind of an A to Z topic, where today is Autism Awareness Day. So anyone that you know personally with autism, or if you're encountering it, today is your day. So value and cherish your day, and those who are above ground, value another day that you're here on earth, because that means that you have a purpose to be here. That's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today. As I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to follow, subscribe, check out any information, past podcasts everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, website pastpodcast.com, email pastpodcastbt@gmail.com. Definitely want to get more involvement and exposure. And I do have on Instagram, if you're looking to get any of the sites to find how to listen to podcasts, I have that all listed at the in the link in the bio. So with that being the case, BT signing out, the past signing out. Until next time, y'all take care. The one point of the show I don't like to reach, but every show must have an ending. So you have made it to the end of yet another episode of the podcast Every Day in April. Continue to tune in. These will be going on from April the 1st until April the 30th. And I will guarantee you that there will be plenty of content and more than enough information to share and address during this show. Thanks for tuning in.